Oh yeah, what's up YouTube? TB here. Bringing you my competitive class setup video. A lot of people have been asking for one of these, so here you guys go. Basically, I'm gonna show you guys what sort of class sets I use for both Respawn and S&D for competitive Call of Duty. So I'm gonna show you guys what sort of SMG classes that I run in Hardpoint and CTF, and then go ahead and transition into my S&D class set, which is over here, and explain what sort of classes I use in different situations. So, starting off, Respawn game types, Hardpoint. Basically, this is my base class. I'm going to use this all the time unless I have to change off of it. Dexterity, Extreme Conditioning, Lightweight Toughness, Quick Draw, Long Barrel, Cap 40, Smoke. I run smokes on my team, so it's usually good to run one or two tacticals to try and throw the other team off and make them try and counter the stuff that you are using. I run the smokes for my team to try and break hills, because I'm obviously one of the objective players and have to get in the hill and try and break it whenever we have to. Anyways, this is my base class, which I use probably 75% of the time. Moving on, I have other classes to basically try and counter metagame shifts that the teams try and pull on us. So if they're using a lot of nades, stuns, EMPs, etc., I have a class to counter each one of those. So I have Dexterity Tac Mask, Lightweight Flak Jacket, and Toughness Hardwired. So if the other team is abusing a lot of those sort of a certain tactical, you can go ahead and shift your class on the fly in game and have a better chance at succeeding. If you're sitting there getting stunned and naded and EMP'd a crap ton during the game, it's going to get into your head a little bit and throw off your game, as well as affecting your character in the game as well. So you can go ahead and throw on some different classes to counter that crap that goes into the game, and you're going to be good to go. Pretty much not many teams use that many stuns and nades and stuff like that, so usually I throw in a hardwired class against teams like Envy or others that use EMPs a little bit more than others, and I can go ahead and counter it pretty easily. So pretty simplistic for my hardpoint classes, and then CTF, it's really simple as well. If you run an objective type of style in SMG, I just use these two classes right here. I'm going to switch that concussion for a smoke, but anyways, Extreme Conditioning. But if they're really abusing those stuns and slowing you down quite a bit as you're trying to move around the map when you're pulling flags and stuff, go ahead and pull out the Dexterity and Tac Mask class. I feel like Dexterity is a must whenever you're running an SMG. If you're trying to get aggressive on them, trying to run and gun and try and break hills, I feel like you just need to have Dexterity on it, and then sort of shift your class for whichever team you're playing against. That pretty much sums it up for the Respawn game type classes that I use. I'm sure some people have other sort of opinions on what to use and their own sort of intricate classes depending on certain situations, but these are the ones that I prefer and I recommend using if you're playing like an objective type of game. Moving on to S&D, got my class set over here. I got sort of my base SMG class, Lightweight Flak. Make sure you don't get naded. Getting naded in S&D is just a terrible feeling, so I don't like letting that happen. And then Dexterity and Dead Silence, so you can't get Sound Horde and still have that quick pull-up maneuverability that it's always good having on a SMG. Moving on, I have a Rush class, Dexterity Extreme, same as the other class, just switch Dead Silence for Extreme. This allows you to get a little bit of a better rush if it really matters on some maps, like so you can get a better position and then either switch off of this class or leave it on. If you play correctly, you don't really need Dead Silence, I guess. If you pre-aim and walk around and stuff like that, they can't really Sound Whore. So use this class carefully. Usually you want to use this to try and switch off of it as soon as you rush up and get a better position. This is my primary defensive class on S&D. You got to be able to switch from an SMG to an assault rifle at any given point in the game. So this is the one that I prefer to use. I feel like the AN is my best AR. Sometimes I dabble with the FAL. M8 doesn't really like me that much, but this is the class I pretty much use most of the time. AN 94 Reflex, Quick Draw, Stock, Flak, Toughness, Dead Silence. You could switch it around, take off, red dot and put on Dexterity if you prefer that, or take off the nade and trophy. Really use whatever you prefer. This is just what I prefer. I like using a trophy to set up in a certain area and having a nade to try and maybe catch someone off guard that doesn't have flak on, etc. Make sure they're running their trophies, blah blah blah. Force them to make a mistake pretty much. So that's my defensive class. Then I'm going to dabble around with this sniper class a little bit. I have the Cap 40 long barrel in case I need to get a little bit aggressive on it in a close quarters fight. Flak Jacket so I don't get naded, and Dexterity, of course, for that Cap 40 as well. I also have a grenade. I like using grenades in S&D. They're good to find people, make them weak for your teammates, blah blah blah. Pretty simplistic. Anyways, certain maps where I like to use a sniper, like on raid defense for example, the way I set up, if the other team is rushing on their offense into circle, I can usually pull off a pick as they're trying to get in control while my teammate Krim rushes in, so I can sort of lay down fire, watch over him as they cross over, and hopefully get a pick or two as they're trying to move up towards that B bomb side. And of course other maps like Meltdown and pretty much bigger maps, Standoff. It's really good for getting picks, and if you can get a pick and stay alive, it's really huge for your team, and Sniper's obviously the best for doing stuff like that. This last class for my S&D class set is one that I've seen Envy use. I think Stainville is using it. They use the LMG with the thermal sight, and I don't know what other sort of attachments they use, but I threw on Flak Jacket, Dexterity, and Dead Silence in case I need to pull out that Cap 40 and get a little bit aggressive, and then the Smoke Grenade to obviously abuse that thermal sight that I have on the LMG. So for maps like Standoff Offense and stuff like that, you can spray through the fences. You can get a good long-range shot if they're camping by in shack or in grannies. You can wall bang them a little bit, you know, whatever you need to do to get a kill. So I'm gonna try this around a little bit. Haven't used the LMG that much. I've used it quite a bit, and I know they're really strong. I'm gonna try and use it a little bit more and see how they really work. So anyways, guys, pretty short video for you guys. I hope this helped you guys out a little bit, showing you what sort of classes I use personally and how to play an objective game type with these classes. So anyways, hope this video helped you out. As always, subscribe to the channel and leave your feedback in the comments below. Appreciate your guys' support and feedback, and it really helps me out when making future videos. Hope you guys have a good one. Oh yeah, later guys.